Okay, Bea, if you can just go through a few of your items and tell us a little bit about them.
Okay, thank you, Jack. My name is Bea Acosta. I've lived on the coast here for over 50 years, and I started my pottery career in probably 2000. And when I first started my pottery career, I started working with dark Navajo red clay, which are these pieces that you see right here. And people have told me it looks like wood, but, and it certainly does in some respects. This one is burnished and polished, so it has a fine sheen on it. And I polish and I burnish them. I burnish them before I put them in the kiln. So they go through one firing in a kiln. I take them out, and then I put them in a smolder fire, which is an outdoor fire that has air that circulates through it. It takes about an hour, and then I let it cool. And the smolder fire creates the cloud, dark black shadows. And after I take them out of the smolder fire, I then polish them with wax, and that brings the sheen up. These pieces I've created, they're in my inventory, so they're not new. And but I love this type of patina. And I have another one here. This I think was made from a refurbished, not refurbished, it's another word, reconstituted clay. When clay is reconstituted, it doesn't bring out the shine as much as it does on a burnished piece like this that is a straight clay, straight first use. So this is second use clay, and it has more of a matte effect to it, but it still has the dark shadows that are created by the smolder fire. This is my last piece in this show, and I started experimenting with coming up and creating square tops instead of round tops.
Great, thanks a lot, Bea. That was very instructive. Yeah, good. Barbara, if you'll just walk us through some of your work, then that would be great.
Okay, so most of my work that I'm showing in this exhibit are etchings. And some of them are single plate, and some of them are 3 plate. One of them is 4 plate. I'll start over here with the paint tubes. I recently got into etching about 10 years ago. I had always wanted to be a printmaker. I started off as a painter when I got my degree, and then I always wanted to go back and become a printmaker. So I finally was able to do that. So the paint tubes is, I'll kind of explain how 3 plate etching is done, and you'll see the other 3 plates as we go through. So each plate, and it's a copper plate, is etched to a certain level that would take the ink. So you have to figure out what between yellow, magenta, and blue, how you're going to develop all the colors. So it takes some practice, and it takes some scraping, and it takes re-etching and an aqua tint usually to make all this work. And then you end up with all of the colors coming about. So the paint tubes and orange peels, I was always fascinated by how orange peels unswirl and make a spiral, and so I worked a long time to get that to happen. Now this is the most recent watercolor I've done. I started doing these willow thickets in the spring. They captivated me just with the quality of being abstract as well as being representational. And as you drive from Sea Ranch down toward the Two Fish Bakery, there's a stand of willow thickets that change through the seasons. So that's how this started. And here, this is the ranch that fell down by Woody's Curve, the fences, and this is 4 plates. This is another 3 plate, more orange peels as I developed it. The wheelbarrow, that again came from the old property down there by Woody's Curve, as did this aqua tint. This So much of my work is really from the North Coast, and this is the beach that's, I think, Stengel Beach. I love the way the tide and the rocks, it's like this play with all of the color that happens when the tide and the water go in and out. Of course, this is the barn that fell down just south of the Russian River. I like to document as things go down, after having driven by it so many times and many other of the houses that are falling down. I generally I'm captivated by the changes in it, so I documented that from when it was a standing up barn to now when it's on the ground. During the pandemic, I started painting more just from my mind and my feelings, and so this is if only there were some people to share my tea. First I made a painting, and then I turned it into an etching. And also during the pandemic, my neighbor had a fantastic garden of poppies, and one day they were all blooming. And here we have one more orange on the plate, and that's it.
All right, thanks a lot, Barbara.
Sure.